Hi folks, so it's time for the final of the Champions of Westeros current season. This is spring 2025 and it's gonna be really exciting because it's two of the very best players in the world, if not the two best at the moment. Well, of the top five, let's call it that way. So Alex, France and Superduck are going to play for the title here. It's going to start in a few minutes. Let me just double check that it's not starting early or anything like that, because that's happened in the past. No. Okay, so as you know, this tournament has been going on for almost a decade now. Well, actually even longer if you count. I think it was the predecessor to this tournament was being played in first edition also, so it's a well-established tournament, and for most of its history the rules have been like they are now, so you can play any deck, any legal deck in any round, which means we don't know what is in store for us today, but we can speculate a little bit. So Alex is undefeated, he's won every game in this tournament. So we have a Bara Summer, Night's Watch Kraken, then some more Bara Summer, there's a Tark Summer in there, Night's Watch Valyrian Steel 3 times, and another Bara Summer. So yeah, the grindy control decks, and one presumably burn in between, has been his preference. And Superduck has lost one game, but what's he been playing? So have some Tyrell Knights here to start with, then also a Night's Watch Kraken, also a Night's Watch Valyrian Steel in there a couple of times. We have one unreported here, not sure what was played in this one. Then another Night's Watch Valyrian Steel, another Night's Watch Kraken, and Martell Cohort to conclude with. So interesting. Is he gonna try to find some kind of counter to both Bara Summer and Night's Watch Valyrian Steel? They do have some similarities, but not. They're not. Probably don't have a counter that completely covers both, but I guess we'll see. Superduck probably a bit more unpredictable than Alex. He has a slightly wider range of decks he plays. So I don't know. It's gonna be very interesting. Before it starts, I can also show you the stats from this tournament. So this is blank because you don't have to submit faction and agenda, but we can see what's been played the most. So Tyrell is the most popular in this edition, followed by Baratheon, then it drops down a bit. Lannister at the bottom, but kind of equal with Martell and Greyjoy in terms of total points. Of course, that's depends on what's the most popular deck to play, or most popular faction to play. Although you could still have a faction that's played a lot and doesn't get that much points. Average points, Night's Watch successful. Well, we've seen Alex and Superduck both play a lot of Night's Watch throughout this tournament. And yeah, the top decks. Okay, there's gonna be some undefeated ones, so this is perhaps not that interesting to see. Field is still kind of the most popular agenda these days, and Summer, which is also kind of an econ agenda at the top, and then Valyrian Steel. So yeah, that's the state of affairs. So who is going to be crowned the champion? We are about to find out. I will sorry, I forgot, I will join the voice channel. I'll join the one on the friendly open server, the one we created for Melee last night, in case anyone wants to commentate with me, just hop in. Tough battle on top of the jousting pavilion rankings. Okay, it's not anything official, and it's not the points are not awarded on a scale that makes complete sense. So I'm not sure how many people care about that, but Superduck has a massive lead, which Alex is probably trying to close a little bit the gap. And Alex did play a lot of games in the World Cup, so he'll get a lot of points for that, whereas Superduck basically set the World Cup out, and even the games he played, I think he might have actually lost all of them. So, but here's a chance to add yet more titles for both players. You can let me know your predictions for this one. Here we go. Superduck just waiting in the game without selecting his deck. Maybe he still hasn't decided yet. Okay, sometimes you can, when the factions and agendas are revealed, you can kind of get a feeling that it's already decided. This is not one of those occasions, so the Tyrell deck is a bit aggro and it can aggro the Knights of Shards really nicely if it gets the House Warrant Knights. It also can get power even if there's the wall set up with a bunch of defenders, because it can target the military challenge with Tourney revealed, I think. At least that's how the games with Tyrell Lion against Knights of Wall Defense played out in the past. But it can also just fall completely flat if Night's Watch gets a bunch of charts with strength boosts and infinite draw, basically, to always have stuff in play. Well, this would be a good time to clear these two away. They will get so many cards. Is there a way to do that? Okay, plays the Maiden. And lets Alex go first, which means Alex might marshal something that could absorb potential aggro for this Seasoned Woodsman. Ah yes, Cage of Ravens. Goes on so few characters, but always there's a reducer for that. And when I tried it in testing, I played so many test games with Cage of Ravens and it was always stuck. Well, Econ very nice to set up, some characters in play. But still very much discardable with a couple of House Warrant Knights here. Now, does he have anything else? He does have another one, and still a standing Cage of Ravens, and a standing faction card, so more stuff could come in. And okay, Superduck invests in High Tower, going to try to draw. He has guaranteed basically draw 3 every round. And doesn't have anything really nasty to start with. Mill goes on bench and could have gone on Seasoned Woodsman, but there's two of them. Might even have to defend himself because he's a little bit small on the board at the moment. If Benjamin does military. And yeah, two big locations and one's duped on purpose, so Could be a political disaster. I found though in Night's Watch wall defense it's not that damaging. Okay, wall has to stay, but you don't need that much. Keep an underground vault if wall is duped also. Keep 2 econ locations, you're fine, and you bring more in. Alex, I'm sure he plays exchange in this deck. It's he has strong opinions about that being the correct restricted card.
Also, Alex always has lay waste, so it's a good idea to dupe the arbor. Even if it's not immediate gold for it, but you know.
Lay waste on the arbor on limited locations.
Oh yeah, you can play it in the arbor, sorry.
But you can on high tower. The problem though is that
Yeah,
it
but then
brings
something else
in
comes in.
red wine straits, which is
It's
not draw,
hard,
but
more hard if
uh,
it's an arbor, I think. But you can't, I guess.
yeah.
Sorry.
Well, either way, there's another knight comes in, and any kind of Alex did have that idea that maybe do military because there's only 3 characters, but that's now gone. Is he gonna do intrigue? They both have draw, so
It depends if he has something else to stop Mark doing a challenge back.
he's gonna have the seasoned woodsman gain. Insight. Okay. I was gonna say renown, which would be surprising that it's not on the one that has a save on him, but actually insight, so it doesn't matter which one. Well, he needs to get the wall. That's the thing, because the power gain is very slow without it.
The Superduck play Mad King's command?
We don't know, but I think the
Or
world's
we
deck.
can speculate based on the
I think that one
deck that he
plays
plays.
the Harris. Harris march to the wall should be in there. I think there's a king in the north and very likely political disaster.
Yeah, there is political disaster also.
And then tourney, right? Okay, what's this bringing in? Something good? Just drawing a bit, okay. Hopefully there's not the wall in there to get discarded now. And Mark's gonna have a look. Well, can't trade himself, but might not be too disappointed about seeing that bounty.
Yeah, it's not good to get for Mark, but I guess you draw it next round, so might be happy with that either way. Castle Black is discarded. I always, when I see Castle Black, I think it's the wall.
Yeah, Castle Black is one of those that goes for political disaster, I think, pretty soon after it's played. Would have been good in the short term though. And we have draw for both basically. There is only the wall.
Yeah, I was just gonna say there's actually only the wall reveal. That's really good.
That's a good exchange here for Alex. I mean,
Yeah.
he has to have towards 20 locations in this 75 card deck, so to only reveal the wall for exchange is pretty nice. What are we choosing here? I mean, anything goes basically on Woodsman and gets even more cards. Any attachment. Water Dancer, so it's
Noble
particularly
lineage,
good.
right?
Yeah. Okay, the Chad probably for the characters. And then maybe Nightmares instead of Lay Waste. Depends. what the plan is. Let's see. So he does do nightmares. Thorin
Oof, and gives him Thorin.
maybe doesn't think Thorin will be very impactful.
Or maybe wants to have to not have too many chats for that uh, House Floor at night to come in and clear them out a little bit more efficiently, you know.
Mm-hmm. Also,
Although there's a long way to go
could
before you
really
can get to the
use
humans.
Blood of the Dragon here, Superduck.
Blood of the Dragon? Yeah. Sure. Sure, sure, sure.
Well, I think the wall has to come in. Yeah, can't keep that in hand with your power gain, and there's Ghost of High Heart and Intrigue Claim, so get it into play even if political disaster is gonna suck. And we are now going to defend it. By the way, they put a time limit on this one. Must have agreed beforehand, but Champions Westeros usually does not have a time limit, and this could come into play actually with Night's Watch. For me, it very often does. New restricted list already in effect, by the way, so Alex can play Hob now alongside Exchange also, right? Or is that not implemented on the Iron Throne yet?
I think it is, but I think Alex says he only plays one hub.
Hits Hightower a little bit. I mean, Econ, there's so much Econ that unless he was also gonna do Nightmares, which he didn't. Probably doesn't mind Superduck super extending here either, because there's gonna be resets. Then I think if Brand the Builder is triggered, which it should be, unless everything's completely blocked, there's the ghost. Brand the Builder will look for that wheelhouse, for instance, and you play PD and then play whatever locations you got, maybe. Lots of gold left.
Mm.
Yeah, that's decent. I mean, you have one milk, can't milk everything. At some point, there might be a green apple knight that gets on your nerves also.
Superduck leaves 5 gold for challenges. Is there so that he has the spice probably, right?
We don't know for sure. There are many ambush options in Tyrell though, so I mean, he could just have. He didn't play bounty, right? He could just have nothing else that he wants to play into a reset. Can play post reset with bounty and extend again. But he has to have the strength to push through the challenges he wants to, and that's in this matchup. I mean, the one that matters really is the power challenge. And yeah, you could do with some events on Night of Flowers if he's gonna win that. Is there a way to cheat in a House Lord Knight from hand just like that? I don't think it is in Mono Tyrell.
No. I don't think there's gonna be many events. I think he plays that he plays some nightmares, so if that's in hand, that's good. Also, 5 gold. Maybe you want to defend with 2 characters because if there's Shrewd Diplomat coming in. Is there? It's convenient 5 gold.
King's Road. Ooh. Does that come in? It
It's coming in,
does.
yeah.
Yeah. And Nightmares is hit. At some point that was gonna be useful. I mean, I don't know when. You can't Nightmares him on the turn though, so. But playing that on Knight of Flowers could save a power challenge maybe at some point. He does military here. Can't claim Benjen very well because he stays dead. Wonder if there is a spare boot at some point. Ah, well, there's a sweet slip. Fine.
There's sweet slip.
So.
Although that will give Superduck milk back for what that's worth.
Mhm. Back into hand, that's already over reserve though.
Yeah, that's true. Well, maybe he has something else coming in.
Huh.
There's a true diplomat.
So that will make it unopposed. Oh, and Old Town is in the deck as well. Is that restricted these days? I think it is, right?
What?
Old Town.
Yeah,
It's just properly restricted.
properly, yes. And also potted with Skim and Septon.
I wonder if this calculation was worth it for Alex to make sure he can win power on defense rather than defend the wall.
I mean, also there could be the other spy that does another intrigue challenge if he defends with both, and that's still unopposed then.
Yeah. Now, anything in dominance. Lay
There is
waste,
Levi's,
there's
but
nothing to play it on, honestly.
yeah.
While that
If
Hightower seized, you're not touching it. You're not touching it either way. I mean, it's just gonna go into Old Town, I think.
Yeah, and Oldham
Yeah.
kind of starts competing with the wall then, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's 2 gold for the 2 power for the wall would have helped here. He's on 4. He didn't lose a power challenge, but the power he gained was from Benjen, and that's not enough. It's not repeatable either, so it's currently losing if this continues, but we'll see what happens with the plots.
I mean, Superduck has, I think, 1 or 2 shoe diplomats in the deck probably, so it's not like it's gonna be every round, and he's gonna get a much bigger board than the wall starts triggering. Although Superduck can find his nightmares for the wall as well.
Morgulis kills Knight of Flowers, kills Ghost, kills one of the Green Apple Knights. 2 power taken away. But
Yeah,
then Superduck
but
spams after that.
does Alex play Morgulis? I think he plays the Harris.
It's entirely possible, but we don't know. I mean, you don't need to play the deck you've published elsewhere. You can make changes for any single game here. So, what do we have this time? This time probably gives him something useless that's not econ. Although all the locations are pretty decent here. A dupe for the wall maybe. Has to give him either Nightmares or fresh recruits. And has to give him pinch, which could be awkward. And this time it is the Chud, because the other option was Meister Marin, who's pretty decent. Yeah, if that was revealed before that set of locations, then wouldn't be giving him the wall.
Can you afford to lose the wall and then replay it? Or is it better to just to get rid of them? Econ, right?
That's actually an interesting thought. He could have done that. He prefers to keep the wall here.
Makes sense.
And he has
And the Superduck keep Hightower waiting for Sis to get
probably.
depleted?
Yeah.
Probably not.
I don't see why not.
It depends if has more.
I was gonna say Alex doesn't have the worst econ because there is a reducer, there is two woodsmen who will gain gold now that he has a full hand, and he has Cage of Ravens, which cheats something also. But he can, I mean, he can play
No,
stuff out, but it's not board set that's winning him the game. And he's going first, so unless he puts pinch in shadows, he's not doing any challenges.
Superduck plays Seized. I don't think it was in the deck that he published, but Alex did play a lot of this Valyrian steel deck.
Yeah, but I think if you do political disaster, you kind of consider locations covered, right? You're not gonna
Maybe.
additionally play seized then because the timing's weird. If you see something and bestow a bit, and then you see that okay, it's time for political disaster, and this can be a bit of a waste. USA Norway score. We're watching Champions of Westeros. It is 3-3, yes, at the moment. And the two games that are remaining are both from that group of tough ones to call. So it's gonna be really nice conclusion. Well, he puts something in shadows. It may not be pinch, but honestly, I think Superduck has such an easy defense against pinch anyway.
On the power, it's not actually that easy, right?
Yeah, but you're not gonna put everyone into the power challenge just to pinch Knight of Flowers, right? I mean, I don't think
Oh, in Old
Superduck
Town.
honestly cares.
Old Town coming in is, starts competing with
Yeah, with the wall.
the wall kinda.
Just marshes the spice. He trying to manipulate the strength of anything before some house
Maybe he
floor
just
and
wants
night
to
3
go
or
for
something.
Old Town.
Okay. The thing is though, he's played this plot now with 4 reserve, which really sucks. And this might be the time for Alex to consider resetting when the hand is down to 4, right? Especially if nothing becomes duped here. But even milked, I think, yeah. At least something that's kept. Could do with some more locations. Yeah.
So you're bringing this spy, right?
Reveals a nightmares this time, which does not boost strength a lot, but it will be a useful card to draw. I mean, just basically steals 2 power away from Alex. So Alex, I think he plays 2 exchanges, so he does have some events. Is it only Nightmares, Lay Waste and Fresh Recruits, or would there be a Hand Judgment in there?
I don't know. Not an expert.
Well, cheeky challenge. If Subrak's not careful, he could get pinched on this one. But I think at this point you want characters in play to be hit by whatever reset there is.
Really, generally might want to defend power anyway.
Of course. But it's dodgy, right? Because that 4 strength turns into 6 so easily. So yeah, he needs to invest a little bit. Assume he has a strength boost for Knight of Flowers. If Alex does something here like Water Dancer Sword. Nightmares on. What? Knight of Flowers? So that there's no strength boost coming, presumably. No, just to stop Renown. Okay.
To step you down, I guess.
Thought he was gonna do something to win on the attack at least. Nothing with even with 2 gold available and Cage of Ravens. It's sad. Alex could do with some kind of bone way or hellhold here.
Blackbird in shadows.
What does that do?
Stands the war, but
Well, it's still standing as it is.
yeah.
Might want to keep that Old Forest Hunter alive. Also use Ghost and then, yeah. If he uses Old Forest Hunter, can put Ghost back and draw some more from that. So
Yeah, if he puts another attachment in, he can go down.
ooh, a big one that could actually compete a little bit in challenges goes here.
Mm.
Okay. Is he gonna try to win on defense? Can still declare defenders. Yeah. Maybe that's one you leave, right? Superduck here. Okay, someone's gonna get insight again probably, or is it time for renown? Insight. Oof. Already had the nightmares. There's one on top, right?
Did he draw at some point?
And nightmares goes from the other side. That's second one, third one in the discard pile already. Well, recruit goes back to Shadows for what it's worth. Pinch goes actually. And wants to get rid of that old town. Okay.
Yeah, makes sense.
And that's gonna cost him the game for sure, yeah, so.
And he puts King's Road, which almost for sure means he doesn't have seized in the deck, right?
It's 1 over reserve. And I think he still has a bounty and presumably a few characters, so could try to play tourney to win next round. But if there's Morgulis, which we strongly suspect there is not because Ghost went out of play, that would be he would only draw 2 because all the knights would go. But I think to Harris maybe. Yeah. King in the north. Yeah, that sucks for Alex. That's not a winning matchup this for Alex, I think. Think needed Morgulis in this one as well. And some other tricks. I mean, if he knew it would be against Tyrell Knights, I'm sure he would attack against it even within Knights of Valyrian still. He could find some answers, but feels like he's up against it here. Hollow Hill, is that legal in this list now? I'm not sure actually. So the new restricted list is already applied.
Is unrestricted and is now just spotted with the agenda uniting the realm.
But it is on the Iron Throne. It shows legality for the new restricted list. Okay. So used to have a rule in Champions of Westeros. I think that if it's not at the start of the week, then it's not legal. But okay, this is the final play on Sunday. Sure,
yeah,
they
it is.
discussed as well.
Yeah, it is.
Untriggerable bang, brother.
Bounty to be played.
Well, no tricks this round, no strength boosts or anything, so suddenly the board's not looking that great. But he does have he's invested very well into a potential tourney closer next round. Bounty available, King's Road available, High Tower available.
Not to mention that there's nothing that's gonna happen for Alex as well, because okay, he can do challenges, but War is not triggering. His econ doesn't work, the attachment doesn't work. So yeah.
So maybe this is one round where you try to win power on defense and attack if you're Alex. And this none neither. Can be defended if he really wants to, but it's costing him a power icon. Now is there finally any strength boost in hand? Like a Water Dancer sword. What's the attachment on Builder, by the way? Noble Lineage. Okay, you can draw from that, but is Ghost really the card you don't want to lose at this point? Fresh recruits. Would have been more valuable to find another Benjen. Oh, but now there's a loading bagging, brother, so Benjen's kind of useless.
The only thing is, honestly, claim kind of sucks at this point for Superduck. Military, I mean. Alex plays Forgotten Plans. I don't know.
Now Belinich back in hand. Everything's still standing. Is 1-2 challenges.
Yeah, I mean, if he has Forgotten Plans for tourney, that's not so bad again.
I think he has the Milkwater. Milkwater crossing. Okay. Well, Alex can defend this with 3 characters and do power back successfully. Alternatively, he could lose this, then do power and one other challenge.
I mean, if he loses this, he can do probably all the other challenges.
I mean, unopposed from that, because there is still Green Apple Knight. Just thinking of in terms of power gain.
Okay.
Might be slightly better to just defend. No, okay. Never mind. So then maybe Iron Helmet does military stealthing him and we see what gets claimed. I'm sure it's gonna be Hedge Knight.
Hedge Knight, yeah.
That drops the strength of Green Apple Knight, but doesn't really matter. Alex wins dominance if he passes here. But I think
Yeah,
intrigue.
but maybe he wants Intrigue Claim because there's this just 5 cards.
Iron Helmet's not a knight, right? No. It's one of those that
No.
could be in my mind, but no.
I don't
Takes
know.
dominance.
I think there's.
Yeah, bit late to discuss now whether there's time limit. They should have settled that beforehand. Usually there isn't one, but okay. So no time limit, but then they need to. I'm not sure actually the game still crashes if you continue playing. Probably so. Yeah, that helps Alex in theory, but I'm not so sure. I mean, one more nightmares for the wall for sure. Still think Tyrell is doing better here. Does Tyrell get rid of their Doharis at some point? that could be now due to only having 3 characters that all survive it. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yes, it is gonna be a nice 8 regions. I have kind of a dream team of regions this year, so if anyone thinks they might be stuck in a team that's not so good, this year is your best bet that that doesn't happen, because everyone's super competent, I think. It's not that far away now. World Cup's basically finishing tomorrow, and then we have a draft within 2 weeks of that, right?
Mm. It would be nice if there was another tournament for first pick or whatever pick you prefer, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you can squeeze it in at this point. It's only one more weekend, and then it's already the draft, right? I would enjoy that. Fresh recruits, but not much econ now. Still has the Woodsman, still has the Reducer, still has Cage of Ravens. You can fresh recruits also can take the absolute cheapest options. If at some point he's gonna play Palace or Soros, I don't know if he plays that, then just having a bunch of those little builders at the wall and stuff like that's not that bad.
Sentinel stands still restricted, right? So I guess Palace would make sense. But with Sentinel strength, it just stand is just better to have that or Palace.
Grizzled Miner. Well, that's reasonably cheap and has high strength.
I think that's one.
Actually takes all the cheap stuff. He's gonna play the old Forest Hunter. At this point, neither player is probably gonna play any reset for 2 more rounds, so play out everything is one option for you.
Yeah.
Has the guy in Shadow still that costs 2, so in case that's a
Yeah, but you can get the gold back.
consideration, he can get some gold, yes. Doesn't have anything better for the noble lineage. I mean, usually there would be a Crester or something at least. And Iron Emmet will block some things. What's this hitting? Mm-hmm. He will block high tower knights coming in challenges if he's not.
Well, they can just come in with the Olena's wheelhouse, but is there a way to kneel him?
To nil what?
Iron Emmet to block.
Oh, no, no, no.
What?
Not really. I'm just thinking once he does a challenge, what does he block realistically? But I think the high tower knights, I doubt there's much else. I don't think you can nil him realistically. He will hit. I don't know, maybe you don't want to hit the guy with noble lineage. The guy with
No.
Cage of Ravens. Maybe you just hit the builder. But whatever, Superduck's not really going crazy with characters here. Okay, he plays the bounty now, still has the King's Road. How about some more of those Green Apple Knights?
Mm.
Renowned guy. And do we keep one gold for... he's gonna get one gold anyway from Hightower for the Nightmares. So Superduck has two more Nightmares presumably, and they might both be in hand. Or at least one
Well,
should
you
be in
don't
hand.
know. How do you know he has two more nightmares?
Uh, in theory, I mean. I think he played one that we knew about, and there, and it's really easy to lose track of this. But I think there was one on top for Old Town revealed or for the Spy revealed at some point that he has drawn
Yeah.
since. Kind of weak on the power icons though is Superduck, and if Palace is played, might actually help him get that former champion online with stealth. He's gonna kneel, so nothing else comes in.
I think nothing with the military icon was coming in anyway.
And he stats begging brother. Superduck doesn't care, okay. I was gonna say Knight of Flowers you can actually lose against, but begging brother you wouldn't, right? No threat of pinch.
Sure, he has counterplay. Probably wants to stop the renown.
And that's all we have.
Actually, there could be another one of those power military knights coming in, but probably would have put them in before.
Well, it's not coming now because Iron Emin's net.
Yeah, that's the only I was thinking what could be with power with military icon.
And Mark can also fizzle from that.
True, yeah, Mark. Just to consider.
This one is winning at the moment, could be defended though with a bit of luck. Practice blade on something and serious training on seasoned woodsman.
Well, we know there's the 2-cost thing in Shadows.
Yeah, and the 2-cost thing.
Yeah.
And I think Ghost might get claimed again now. Random put to the sword? No.
There is a much more aggressive variation of this Knight's deck with Olena's Wheelhouse and the 6-cost claim race Knight. Garland, maybe?
Yeah.
Is it Garland?
Garland, he's called.
I know those sometimes play put to the sword, but don't think Superduck does.
Might put Mark in this one just to see.
Yeah.
Who knows if it reveals Spy? You could even win power challenge from that. It's kind of swung now the power, leaving that unopposed power. And now if the wall triggers, I mean, we're still thinking there's the Nightmares. Tarek's not looking so hopeless at the moment, actually.
Yeah.
And if he does actually play Forgotten Plans into tourney. Now what do we have here? Dragon Glass Dagger before Intrigue Claim. He's struggling to find anything to cancel, so
Well, there's the zero cost one. Can you cancel that? Or is it just, yeah, you can cancel that, right?
what zero cost one?
No, zero cost, zero icon one.
Yeah, you can cancel that, yes. Now let's see what Mark reveals. Ooh,
Oh, Lena's informant.
that's a good one. That's a very good one, actually.
Is it gonna call intrigue? Because you can't win second power.
I don't know, I mean, that could spare the Nightmares for another round,
Yeah.
but he might need to play Nightmares to push the power challenge through, actually. Could call military. Can't believe he revealed this. That can be wheelhoused as well next round, potentially. Doesn't fancy 2 power challenges, okay. Ooh,
There is hand judgment.
and he hits it before Nightmares. Well, things not going Galaxy's way. He looked for a second there like he stabilized the situation. 8-8 and some defense on the power challenge. Hands judgment for Nightmares in hand. Wall potentially triggers. Forgotten
It's
Plans
still
next.
not the worst.
But yeah, I mean,
Worst.
Olena's informant into this intrigue claim was really not fun.
The question is, if you are Superduck, do you just give up on doing power challenges round and put Knight of Flowers into the military, yeah, to get the renown?
Yeah, and if it's unopposed, just keep the Nightmares. This
Yeah,
is cost, right? Yeah. So
yeah,
it will just get cancelled.
got cancelled, I think. Mm-hmm.
And possibly killed as well. Steward goes, that puts Noble Lineage back in hand. And this will hit another Steward at the wall. And it will trigger High Tower again. It's another thing that Hans Judgment could have been used on. Yeah, not fun.
Yeah, but this informant now is actually gonna block further House Florent Knights until something else is marshaled.
Yeah, if Alex somehow doesn't marshal any more shots, but then he's running out of defenders because there's so much crap that you need 1,000 of them just to defend the wall normally. Plus there's the nightmares. I think he might just wheelhouse the informant now,
Yeah.
just to do 2 military or whatever. 2 intrigue, whatever is the weakest challenge for Alex.
Yeah, and giving him Toren was a good call for Superduck, because always when people throw away the cards that you give for exchange, it's a good sign that you made a good call.
Maybe he should have kept more econ that round and replayed the wall without a dupe.
Maybe.
I mean, he does have a humongous board, to be fair. Or he did, before he suffered 3 claim, basically. So, the fact that it's still not winning is the problem. He's holding his own on the power challenge, but it's not winning. It's costing him on the others. Okay, he
But
does have
hits
this.
Turney, so...
But he's gonna be stuck going first again. Sarcasm? I don't think so. There's printed renown on some though. The nightmare situation. Okay, as I said, I can't keep track. If there was a shuffle
Feels like
before,
it was for sure.
I feel like Alex was expecting it when that hand judgment was hit. I mean, it could be in hand. I mean, there's 1 in the discard pile. It could be 2 in hand for all we know. He's drawn so much.
For what is worth, if you look at the World Cup deck, he had only 2 nightmares.
Well, no reset coming for at least another round. So try to defend the wall, maybe get some kind of Lord Commander or Longclaw.
Doesn't
Or
go on anything. Oh, yeah, no, doesn't go on anything.
maybe a Benjen.
Lord Commander at least.
A Benjen, there's still 1 Begging Brother trigger. I don't know if he can stop the renown on military though. That's more than enough for Superduck. Just do that for 2 rounds and it's fine.
Hopefully the game doesn't crash.
It's not gonna crash for a while.
Not this round for sure, because it's still the last one.
Yeah, at the end of this round,
Yeah, there's no timer.
the winner will be declared and you have 15 minutes still to play after that. That should be enough for most of the following round, or at least to establish who's about to win. Benjen found, but he's not in play. I don't think there will be 2 more rounds to play him and then kill him. Kill him on purpose on the reset. I mean, although seems like Alex will be doing, Superduck will be doing military, because that's what former champion simply has to do at this point.
Oh. This guy can call former champion on military.
I don't like the flea bottom alley, personally. So many 2-costers, and it's spent on a 2-coster here, so it's losing some of its value.
Yeah, but if you put it with Cage of Ravens, that's extra limited, right?
Extra limited, and does draw. Now, Sam, do we have
Sam is
Noble
gonna mess
Lineage?
also
Is in play at the
with
moment, so can't do anything on the power, but on the intrigue, what does it block? Malin's gone, short-lived. Yeah, you see, it's not blocked at all on the house floor at nights. But I don't know what the vehicle will do. Can do house floor and night and get rid of another child, or you can do Olena's informant. At this point, probably just military to do it twice with Green Apple Knight. Put the renowned ones in as well. I mean, if he gets something else, like another former champion, it can potentially just end in one challenge. By the way, Superduck with his I draw 3 per round is down to 27 cards in 6 rounds, which is good but not crazy. Alex down to 28. 2 exchanges. Okay, there was also 2 Harrises, so it's not exactly, we don't know exactly how many were drawn for each player, but it's amazing that he's caught him up. Well, here's the big decision. Yeah. Could even call power twice. I mean, actually, he doesn't have the
He's not
characters really.
winning power twice, though.
Yeah. No, but just you can win it once if you can do 2, maybe. But he doesn't have the icons. Could be more of those high tower knights, but you'd have to need something useful then, which it doesn't seem like is an option here. Oh, come on. Surely not. Well, that's gonna hit the one with Cage of Ravens now, which means Cage of Ravens can. No, it can't come in with the agenda. There's no gold and there's no Old Forest Hunter. Weird order of things here. Mm. Until the beginning of the next phase. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be simultaneous. If it is, then the forced reaction should trigger before the optional one, but maybe you do have to determine the order of those 2 cards entering play. Well, Alex is gonna steal some power back before he gets hit with all the challenges. Honestly, this should be successful. I don't think it's a good plan for Superduck to spend 1,000 defenders, although if there's a high tower spy you could bring it in and see what it gets. Opposes still. I guess maybe you don't want to get anything weird happening here because superior claim played or something. Probably won't need the
Superior
power
claim could still
icons.
be played, but it's
Oh yeah, he defended
not.
with 2 only. Yeah. But yeah, I mean with power claim, superior claim unopposed, and then you have to oppose every other challenge because Alex is on 12 or something. Realistically, we know those cards are not in the deck, so. Well, this one has 2 renown, so if it could be stopped, but it can't.
How?
That would be 12, and he has 1 more standing renown.
I mean, Sammy can block this one, right?
Yeah. But
Could
actually,
have thrown in a House Floor Knight, right?
there is no more military icons. So I think the unopposed is enough for 15 here. Plus he has the power challenge anyway. I mean, he has about 4 ways to win here. And this does exist. 5 coster, of course. Think all the power icons could go into this one, or maybe if you leave 1 standing for 1 military will be surely standing afterwards for dominance. But at the moment he's winning on the unopposed military anyway. Or pass here. No. Yeah. That will do it. In the end, didn't matter with the timer. This is still within the time we had. So yeah.
Yeah.
Another win for Superduck. Are you jealous? I'm a bit jealous. Wish I could win some.
Did he win the last one also?
The last champion of Westeros?
I think so.
We can dig a bit to find out who was the defending champion here. Just to see if there's anything interesting in the chat. Maybe something controversial said. No. Yeah, so let's see Champions of Westeros. I'll browse through Superduck, how he did on in the last one. So we're looking at what the winter one.
Oh no, so sorry, that one was won by Martifus.
Ah yes.
Superduck actually didn't do that good.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
sucked
it's
real
pretty
bad.
good, but
9th
you know,
place.
by his standard.
76 players, and on this one we had 76 also. So you know, the online worlds had 54 or something. I don't know what it is about that event. It's played on a single day and people don't like that, but this gets better numbers, not as good as when the game was really popular, pre 2020 I guess, but still for the current situation gets decent numbers. And the registration is open for the next one. I can post the link in the description of this video when I publish it. I'm sure you can find it as well on Discord. It's the summer edition next, and registration closes I think next weekend, Sunday. So currently number of players is somewhere in the 40s, I think. So I think we still get some more and hopefully hit that 70 plus number again. So if everyone's still thinking about it, you play 1 game per week, 6 rounds of Swiss. If you win 4, you are in the cut. Otherwise, that's it for you. And then it's a normal knockout stage. It's really not that intense, the tournament, in terms of how much commitment you need. So I think everyone should play. And since it's 8 regions starting soon, it's also an additional tournament where you can get some practice in. I've used it basically the last few summers for practicing my 8 regions deck and such. So yes, for the Champions of Westeros, that's all we have for you. But we will stay with the live stuff because I'm gonna show you some more stuff from the World Cup that we have recorded. But we'll just say thank you for watching here for the YouTube video that we edit later for the Champions of Westeros, and join us soon also for the World Cup.